broadcasting to you today from my home office, my district office in my hometown of Peoria. So I've been a longtime supporter of fair maps, and like many of us in the state of Illinois, I was one of the nearly 600,000 people that signed a petition in 2014 demanding that we create a new way forward for how we draw our legislative districts in the state of Illinois, and to place that question on the ballot so we could finally give voters a choice of whether they would choose how and be involved with the way that our legislative districts are created, taking the decisions of politicians from drawing our own legislative districts and empowering independent voters for a different way forward. Unfortunately, we know what happened back in 2014. A partisan decision of the Illinois Supreme Court scuttled the efforts and really the commitment of those nearly 600,000 people to make a difference and offer a choice for a different way forward in the state of Illinois. And that decision really still burns me to this day. If you recall, one of the petitioners that brought forward a block on placing that question on the ballot was John Hooker, a ComEd lobbyist who is now under indictment and part of the Speaker Madigan ComEd bribery scheme that we're still in the midst of here in the state of Illinois. And the deciding decision of the Illinois Supreme Court was authored by Tom Kilbride, who has now been removed from the state Supreme Court, but was heavily supported and really brought forward by Speaker Madigan to do work like this, to make sure that the interests of protecting his methodology for controlling the map-making process in the state of Illinois could be continued. So what have we seen since then? Since that time, our situation in the state of Illinois has not gotten any better. Illinois continues to lose population. Many of our lawmakers are elected with little or no opposition throughout the state. And this scourge of corruption, of bad ethical activity, illegal activity by our state lawmakers has only gotten worse. And so now we approach another 10 years, another census, and we're still allowing politicians to draw the legislative districts that they will represent. So something has to change. And since the Supreme Court decision many years ago, I have repeatedly supported and been either the sponsor or the chief co-sponsor of a number of different initiatives to change the way we approach redistricting in the state of Illinois. In this current General Assembly, I've been sponsor or co-sponsor of 2 constitutional amendments. That's House Joint Resolution Constitutional Amendment 10 and also Amendment number 15. And in the previous 100th General Assembly, the 100th General Assembly, it was House Joint Resolution Constitutional Amendment 43. Every time we achieved bipartisan co-sponsors for these measures, but the question was blocked from consideration by Speaker Madigan. So now, having passed the deadline to place, to have made a difference for amending the state constitution, we are seeking another option, and that is through legislation to make the changes necessary to bring some element of independence into the map-making process. And I'm very happy and proud to support either a constitutional amendment or now a legislative change to make the difference here as we approach the remap. This is really important, and the timing of it could not be more urgent. And we're all starting to hear why. Because as Speaker Madigan struggles to sustain his grip on power and seeks to count up 60 votes to support his reelection for Speaker, one of the things that he's trying to do, and is very blatant in his discussion with members, is talking about his ability to create another gerrymandered partisan map and protect incumbent members of his party. That is wrong. That is what we must stand against. And it really is part of the cycle of corruption and poor behavior that we see throughout the legislature coming through Speaker Madigan's office. So I'm here today to support this new way forward. I think it's absolutely critical that we make a change for the future of our state and the future of our legislature. Gerrymandering is a corrupt tool that must be taken away from the toolbox of Speaker Mike Madigan. Now, one last thing. I think it's important, and I applaud and appreciate Governor Pritzker for campaigning on the premise of independent maps and the importance that they reflect for the future of the state of Illinois. So this is an opportunity now for Republicans and Democrats to work together through the leadership of Governor Pritzker to make a difference and get this done in the final days of this current General Assembly. I think this is an example, and we have worked together with the governor before on issues such as infrastructure investments, and this should be another thing. Governor Pritzker campaigned on this important topic. I think he is right on the money for raising it and putting an emphasis on the need for changing how we draw our legislative districts in Illinois. This is the very last chance that we have to do it. We need to do it now before Speaker Madigan is able to leverage gerrymandering as the solution to his ethics problems and his inability to get to 60 votes for re-election as Speaker.
Thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. And while you're at it, please leave us a comment. Thank you for watching.